Greetings and salutations and welcome to Brimley Bays basketball on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason broadcasting from the Carl Parker Memorial Gymnasium in Brimley, Michigan on this Tuesday night, awaiting the start of our Eastern UP Conference boys basketball game between the hometown Brimley Bays and the visiting Rudyard Bulldogs. Katie Willem back in the Eagle 95.1 studios, running the ones and twos, as my friend to my right would say. As well, it's been a while since the Brimley Bays have played. As a matter of fact, it's been 10 days, as they were scheduled once last week in Detour on Thursday. However, that game was canceled. It will be played this upcoming Monday, January 22nd, in Detour. And so the Bays might have a little rust coming into this one, but they enter tonight's contest with a record of 6-2, 2-1 in the Eastern Upper Peninsula Conference, while the Rudyard Bulldogs, well, they played 2 games last week. They defeated Detour in EUP conference play and then lost to Sheboygan in double overtime in their last contest. They entered tonight's game with a 3-5 record, 2-3 in the EUP conference. Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by Chippewa County Credit Union, where all families make one union, serving all of Chippewa County, member NCUA, and equal housing lender. And also brought to you by Bay Mills Community College, committed to providing affordable, culturally relevant, accessible, and high-quality educational opportunities to all. You can apply online at bmcc.edu today. This is a very busy week for the Brimley Bays and a couple key contests, including this one tonight, obviously, against the Rudyard Bulldogs, but Brimley will also be here on Thursday as the Bays will take on the Pickford Panthers. We'll have that game on Thursday. I'll be here for that one. And then next week, not looking ahead too much, they have a couple other big games. January 26th, home against Cedarville. And then the following Monday, the 29th of January, they'll be at Newberry. So a lot of conference games coming up. And, well, the Bays still in the hunt for the conference title right now. Their record in the conference is 2-1, so they haven't played a lot of conference games. They're going to have a lot of them. Looking at the EUP conference standings, Cedarville on top with a 4-0 record. They're 9-1 overall. They had a big win last week at home against Sioux High, blowing them out by almost 20 points. Pickford in second place, 4-1 in the conference, 7-3 overall. Engadine, you can't sleep on them. The Brimley did beat them earlier this year, but they're sitting on top of the conference with in second place in the conference with a 4-1 mark, 6-4 overall. Then you have the Newberry Indians in fourth, 2-2 in the conference, 3-6 overall. These Rudyard Bulldogs, 2-4 in the conference. I'm looking at the girls' standings. Well, that's kind of embarrassing, but you get the picture. Actually, it's pretty close in the girls as well. You have Cedarville on top, 4-0. Engadine at 4-1, and Brimley just behind Engadine at 2-1. See, that's what threw me off, because Cedarville and Engadine had the same conference records for boys and girls. So you excuse me if I didn't notice that little thing on the top that said boys basketball standings, and it wasn't bold, but I digress. Pickford in third place in boys basketball in the EUP conference with a 3-2 conference record, 4-4 overall. Rudyard, fourth place, 2-3, 3-5 overall. And Detour in Newberry, both teams yet to win a conference game. Both teams 0-4 in the conference. Detour 1-5 overall. In Newberry, 1-6 overall. Brimley Bays basketball sponsored by the Wicked Sister. We were there last night for our sports show, The Game. They have burgers, starters, snacks, shareables, soups, and tapas. Voted the #1 pub in the UP. They're located on Ashman Street in Sioux, Michigan. And also brought to you by Chuck Renzi Ford. You've got a relative in the car business at Chuck Renzi Ford in Newberry. They're located on 309 Newberry Avenue. Or you can also find them on Facebook at Chuck Renzi Ford of Newberry.com. We did have a chance to talk to Brimley Bays head basketball coach Matt Bathy. However, unfortunately, we're not able to play the interview that we had for Matt. I lost a little piece of equipment, a little small adapter, which unfortunately I can't play for you, but I will summarize after we take our first break here from Brimley. We've got about 14 minutes before we start this one. The Brimley Bays set to take on the Rudyard Bulldogs in boys basketball. You are listening to Brimley Bays basketball on Eagle 95.1. Welcome back to Brimley Bays basketball on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason broadcasting from the Carl Parker Memorial Gymnasium in Brimley, Michigan on a clear, chilly, but not too bad Tuesday, So we're about 10 minutes away from the start of this boys basketball game between the Brimley Bays and the Rudyard Bulldogs. And we had a chance to talk to Coach Matt Bathy before the game. And as I mentioned earlier, unfortunately not able to play back the interview, but Coach was talking about his team and where they're at. And a couple of the questions that I asked him is having the layoff with that game canceled on Thursday. Is that something that is a plus at this point? Is it something that's a negative, or is it something you just deal with? And, well, he says it depended on when they had the layoff, what happened that previous game. Well, the last game the Bays played was against Flint International Academy on that Saturday afternoon. And after a close first half, the Flint team really played well in that second half. So the Bays have had that loss to kind of hang with them over the last 10 days. And another question I asked is, what were some of the things, probably the one thing that Coach thought was going well with his team, or maybe the one thing that he was the best, or the biggest surprise so far? And, well, he said the thing that was going the best so far is obviously this team's depth. As we've seen during the broadcast that we've had here on Eagle 95.1, this team can really have about a dozen guys that can be leading scorers. And when you have that much depth, especially with a small school, that's just something that's really unheard of. And I also asked Coach Bathy about what was maybe the one thing that you need the most improvement on it, and he mentioned defense. Didn't mention free throws. I wasn't going to go there, but he said they'd like to improve on their defense. This is a very dangerous Brimley team, but it's a team that needs to play within themselves, because we've seen it on a few occasions when things start going a little off the rails, so to speak. Sometimes these guys have a hard time getting back into the flow of it, but you know what? That comes with growing this season. And I mentioned to Coach Bathy how important it was to win the EUP conference, and Coach said, well, you know, he's never won, so it's important, and they're still in it. And so that's why these two games this week are very important. Brimley Bays basketball sponsored by O'Connor's in Pickford. Check out their full line of Dodge, Ram, and Jeep vehicles. Also brought to you by Bay Mills Resort and Wild Bluff Golf Course. We can't play any golf right now, but you can still stay at their beautiful resort. And hey, you know what? Sooner rather than later, we'll be back on the golf course, won't we? Well, maybe later, but we're going to get there. And when you get there, make sure you go to Bay Mills Resort and Wild Bluff Golf Course. And brought to you by Baymart Sunoco and Gift Shop. Stop in before the game. They have 3 for $3 Powerades, 2 for $3 50-cent Monsters, along with the freshest coffee in town, donuts, and very competitive fuel prices. Looking at our broadcast schedule this week on Eagle 95.1, I mentioned that we'll be back here on Thursday. Yours truly, along with my oldest son, Vance, will be joining us as the Brimley Bays will take on the Pickford Panthers in boys basketball. And then we'll have Sioux High Blue Devil hockey this weekend. Tim Ellis will be at the Big Bear Arena on Friday night as the Sioux High Blue Devils will take on Traverse City West in the Lions Showcase. Tim will have the pregame show Friday night around 7:45 with the face-off at 8. And then a big matchup on Saturday as the very powerful, if you will, Flint Power Squad will be at the Big Bear taking on the Sioux High Blue Devils. Tim will have the call of that game around 3 o'clock with the pregame show at 2:45. Looking at some of the high school basketball games around the area, we'll recap them while we have some time here, as there are a lot of games last week. Mentioned to Coach Bathy, this is the meat and potatoes portion of the schedule, and lots of teams have, well, played lots of games. And let's go back to last week, looking at the games late last week. Thursday, a lot of boys games were happening. We were scheduled to be in Detour. Todd Olmsted, we had to delay his broadcast debut as he was set to broadcast that game in Detour. But again, that one was canceled and will be replayed in Detour next Monday. Other games last week in boys basketball on Thursday, a big one in Pickford, won by the Cedarville Trojans as they defeated the Panthers at, wait for it, the Purple Palace in Pickford by the score of 67-59. Dakota Fairchild had 25 points in that one to lead Cedarville, while Travis Green had 23 for Pickford. We mentioned the Rudyard Bulldogs. They were in a double overtime game at home as they fell to Sheboygan last Thursday by the score of 70-67. And then Newberry got their first win of the year in Straits Area Conference play as they won at St. Ignace on Thursday by the score of 53-46 as the Saints fall to 0-8. Friday night basketball, Sioux High defeated Negaunee at home by the score of 58-53. Brendan Paul had 32 points to lead the Blue Devils. In girls basketball, got to give it up for the Brimley Bays as they won in double overtime on Friday by the score of 53-49. Kendra Carrick with 20 points to lead the Brimley Bays. Pickford at Cedarville, another big EUP conference game, and this one also won by the Trojans in girls basketball as they defeated Pickford by the score of 45-39. Mackenzie Barr had 17 points for Cedarville in that one. Rudyard lost to Sheboygan on Friday night by the score of 50-40 in girls basketball. Also in girls basketball, St. Ignace. Boy, they are steamrolling opponents this year. They improved to 8-0 as they defeat Newberry by the score of 59-21. And then the Soo High Blue Devil girls team defeated Essexville Garber on Saturday. And we had some games last night in both boys and girls basketball as Brimley was here at home is taking on Harbor Light Christian. It was all Harbor Light as they won last night by the score of 58-35. Also in girls basketball, St. Ignace proves to 9-0 on the season as they whoop Frankfort by the score of 70-21. And Newberry defeated Rudyard at home in girls basketball by the score of 44-41. And one game in boys basketball last night, Soo High goes to 2-0 in the Straits Area Conference as they topped Sheboygan big by the score of 59-23. Brandon Paul had 19 points in that one for the Blue Devils. And other games going on in boys basketball, a bunch of them tonight. Besides this one, Newberry is at Cedarville. Pickford is at Posen. Superior Central is at Engadine. Harbor Light Christian at Detour. And the Soo High girls basketball team, they make the long trek to Negaunee. So we're going to have lots of Brimley Bays boys and girls basketball games the rest of the season. We haven't had a lot of girls games here early just because of the way the schedule worked out. And, of course, we have to take into consideration Soo High hockey, my broadcast schedule with the Sioux Eagles along with the Game Sports Show. But we have a bunch more girls games here in the second half. And, of course, we still have quite a few more boys games as well. So keep it locked here all season long to Brimley Bays basketballs. Not only do we want to be broadcasting in January and February, which we will, we want to go down into early March. As Coach Bathy said, hey, plan on being at the Breslin. I would love to be there. Not to see Michigan State right now. Whoa, boy, they've had a tough week, but I digress. We're going to take our final break here on the pregame show. We come back. We're going to have the start of tonight's EUP Conference boys basketball game between the visiting Rudyard Bulldogs and the hometown Brimley Bays. You are listening to Brimley Bays basketball on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason back in Brimley, Michigan. Starting lineups being announced right now. Starting for the Rudyard Bulldogs, number 3, Dylan Mills. Also starting number 4, Robert Molaski. Number 5, Matt Warner. Number 10, Jacob Staker. And number 22, Paul Staker. The Rudyard Bulldogs are coached by head coach Mike Bittner. And winning the starting lineups for the Brimley Bays, Rudyard in their home black jerseys with the orange and white trim, while the Brimley Bays in their home white jerseys with the blue trim. Good crowd here tonight on a Tuesday night. Both sides of the bleachers pretty full, especially this side. Now starting for they got the music there. They're reminiscent of the Chicago Bulls of the 90s. Starting for the Brimley Bays, number 24, Dylan Carrick. Also starting for the Bays, number 32, Tristan Lyons. Starting 34, Zach Gross. Coach John Aikinen getting into the whole Chicago Bulls thing going. Wow, he's really getting into this one. Number 42, Brendan Shornack also starting tonight. And starting at center, number 44, Kaleb Johanson. The Brimley Bays are coached by head coach Matt Bathy. So we're about to get started here. These teams met twice last year. Rudyard won here, and that was the game that Marcus Harris got hurt. And, of course, Marcus Harris still out of the lineup, keeping our fingers crossed for him this season. Brimley will be going right to left as seen on your radio dial. The first of two meetings between these two squads, as these teams will tangle later on this season in Rudyard. Matter of fact, it's the last regular season game, February 27th. And I believe that our good friend Todd Olmstead is going to be broadcasting that one. So here we go. Dylan Mills jumping up against Kaleb Johanson. The Brimley Bays, a senior-laden team. The Rudyard Bulldogs, more of a junior-laden team. So here we go. We're underway in Brimley. Bays with the ball, going right to left. Carrick with the ball. Dylan Carrick Passes it over to Gross. Zach Gross with it on the right wing. Now up top on the left side. Carrick drives the baseline. Now backs it out. Carrick almost had it stolen. Gets it to Johanson. Now swinging it to Zach Gross. Zach Gross double team. Now avoiding it. Johanson driving to the basket. And that one's swatted away by Paul Staker, but I think they're going to call a foul. Well, he got most ball there, but apparently they're going to call a foul on that one. So that'll go against young Mr. Staker. Of course, his brother played for the Rudyard Bulldogs, Zach Staker. I want to give a shout out to Zach if he's listening tonight. Talked to his mom and dad before the game. Now first free throw up good, and that's one of the things that the Bays have struggled with is free throws, but they make their first one. And it's 1-0 Brimley here early. Kaleb Johanson now, second free throw up, and that one rattles in. So the Bays 2 of 2 from the charity stripe, and they lead 2-0 Rudyard with their first possession. Robert Mulaski with the ball, wearing that mask, a la Rip Hamilton mask. Must have had some injury there on the face, so he's wearing the mask tonight. Now a bad pass to Warner, stolen by the Bays. Carrick has it across the midcourt line, gets it to Lyons, thinks about the three, now drives the baseline. Lyons over to the other side. Zach Gross up top. Gross being guarded by Staker. Now the Bays have it. With it, Zach Gross near side, spotting up three. That one rattles out. Rebound, Lyons underneath. He gets it. He's fouled, but he'll miss the shot, but will get 2 free throws. We'll see who they call the foul on there, and that might be on Staker again. And boy, that's 2 quick fouls on Paul Staker, so we may have to see him get some minutes on the bench as Lyons at the line shooting 2. First free throw rattles out, so that's the first miss of the night for the Bays. They lead by 2, 7:04 to play in this first quarter. 2 games this week from Brimley. We'll have the boys game Thursday night as the Brimley Bays will take on the Pickford Panthers. Lyons makes the second free throw. So the Bays 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. They lead 3-0. Now here's Warner left of the baseline, but he traveled. He thought about going against Shornack there, but backed it out and he ends up traveling. Bays with the ball. Zach Gross to Carrick. Dylan Carrick across the midcourt line. Lyons wide open. Left wing 3, no good. Tried to get his own rebound, picked up by Mills. Dylan Mills with the ball, very athletic player. Gets it up top. Long 3, Mulaski. He hits off the back rim, no good. Rebound goes over. Shot off the bench. No, that's Smith. Now the Bays have it. 2 good looks there for Rudyard. Now driving Lyons, and that's going to go out of bounds. Will stay with the Bays. 6:33 to play in this first quarter. 3-0 in favor of Brimley. Broadcast engineer tonight, Katie Woolen, back in Sault Ste. Marie. Now a pass off the end line. Gets to Lyons on the near corner, being guarded by Warner. Now Zach Gross. Bulldogs in a zone defense, 2-3. Now go a little man-to-man as Carrick has it up top to Gross. Near side Lyons. Tristan Lyons gets into the left corner. That's Shornack. Bays patient on this possession. Lyons open, right wing 3. That one's short. Rebound underneath, picked up by Warner. Here's Gavin Smith, number 11 for the Bulldogs. Smith with the ball, tried to cross over the dribble. Lyons almost got the steal. Now here's Staker up top. That's Jacob Staker. Staker with the ball, over to Smith on the left wing. Gavin Smith being guarded by Lyons. Now Warner, over to Staker. Now Staker back to Warner. Warner on the right side gets it to Staker. Jacob Staker over to Mulaski. Now Mulaski drives, dishes it out. Smith open, far side 3, no good. Rebound picked up by Mills, but I think they might call a foul on the play. And that's going to go against Brimley, and that might go against, I believe, Shornack. First team foul on the Bays. That indeed does go against Shornack. 3-0 Brimley, 5:35 to play in this first quarter. Jacob Staker with the ball. Gets it up top to Smith. Being guarded by Carrick. Now Smith almost traveled. Gets it to Staker. And they call the foul? I believe an offensive foul underneath. That'll be the 3rd team foul on the Bulldogs. As Rudyard still looking for their first points of the night. That foul will go against Dylan Mills, his first. Going for positioning underneath. Brimley with the ball, leading 3-0. 5:25 to play in the first quarter. Carrick across the midcourt line. Mulaski on him. Now we're to Zach Gross on the left wing. Still no substitutions yet for the Bays. Now Gross drives, puts it up, no good. Gross gets his own rebound. And a third chance, no, still no good. Now Johanson finally, no, another miss. Boy, the Bays had 4 chances on that possession. Here come the Bulldogs. Mulaski with it across the midcourt line. Robert Molaski being guarded by Gross. Gross, a very good defensive player, Zach Gross. Now here's Molaski. Stops and pops, no good. Rebound picked up by Lyons. Tristan Lyons with the ball. Low-scoring start to this game, 3-0 Brimley. Under 5 to play in the first quarter. Johanson up top, orders Zach Gross. Now looking inside, nice cut to the basket, putting it up and in. Shornack of the assist to Gross, and that's the first field goal of the game, and it's 5-0 Bays. 4:35 to play in this first quarter. Here's Warner on Johanson, and that's going to be a foul on Kaleb. That'll be his first, team foul number 2. Jacob Staker to inbound underneath the Bays basket. As now Sean Hill gets up, thought he was coming in for a moment, but no, not yet. Now here's Warner driving. Warner inside, dishes it out, nice pass. Mills puts it up, no good. Rebound picked up by Lyons. Both teams missing a lot of shots here early. Tristan Lyons across the midcourt line, being guarded by Jacob Staker. Now here's Zach Gross up top to Johanson, swinging it over to Lyons. Lyons now looking inside, and I think there is some contact by Brimley. So we've seen quite a few offensive fouls. Don't know these officials. This is the first time I've seen this group. Never did get the names of these guys. That'll be the third team foul on Brimley. That one will go against Dylan Carrick, his first. 5-0 Brimley. 4:10 to play in this quarter. Now here's Warner underneath. That's going to be another foul. Going to be a blocking foul on Shornack. That'll be his second. So early foul trouble for both teams. Brendan Shornack with 2 fouls. You also have Paul Staker with 2 fouls for the Bulldogs. Now we have Josh Gross coming in along with number 22 Sam Hopper for Brimley. And looks like number 32 Trent McDowell checking in for the Bulldogs. Now McDowell has it, dishes it to Mills, right of the lane. Mills puts up the shot, good. So Rudyard gets their first 2 points, and it's 5-2 Brimley halfway through this first quarter. Josh Gross over to Lyons on the left wing. Looking inside, now dishes it out to Johanson, over to Josh Gross, inside Hopper, and that's going to be a foul on Molaski. That'll be his first, so these fouls starting to pile up for both teams here, as both teams now with 4 team fouls. We still have about half of this first quarter to play. Now Carrick to inbound. Carrick looking way up top to Sam Hopper. Now over to Carrick. Carrick drives the baseline. Good defense there by Mills. Over to Lyons. Lyons being guarded by Smith. Now Carrick, far sideline. Carrick still has the ball. Now Carrick drives, backs it out, and we have a timeout by Coach Matt Bathy with 3:35 to play in this first quarter. Low-scoring game. It's 5-2 in favor of Brimley. This timeout brought to you by Mimic Insurance and the LaPrade Agency, reminding all school and healthcare employees that you can receive up to 35% discounts on your home and auto insurance when you're with Mimic. Contact the LaPrade Agency at 635-5981 to find out how. So it's 5-2 Brimley here in this first quarter. Both teams with 1 field goal, Bays 3 of 4 from the charity stripe so far. Rudyard yet to shoot. As both teams not quite on their mark yet. Brimley has not looked bad by any stretch, but still a little rusty. Maybe on the offensive end, but can't be too upset about the start to this one. Now Carrick inbounds. Josh Gross underneath. Found some space, and he draws contact, and Josh Gross will shoot 2 free throws for the Brimley Bays. That'll be the 5th team foul on the Rudyard Bulldogs. That'll go against McDowell, his first. So at the line, number 14, Josh Gross. Shooting 2. First free throw up, no good. So the Bays now 2 of 5 from the charity stripe, 3 of 5 from the charity stripe. Gross will shoot 1 more. Second free throw up, and that one's good. So Josh Gross splits the pair. Bays 4 of 6 from the charity stripe, and it's 6-2 Brimley. 3:30 to play in this first quarter. Gavin Smith with it. Now the Bays try to create a little pressure defense. McDowell right of the lane, dishes out to Smith. Smith now inside. Mills open. He's going to hit that one. No, he hits the back iron. Rebound goes to Josh Gross. Now Gross to Hopper. Hopper underneath. Puts up the left hand. Good. Sam Hopper with 2, and the Bays have an 8-2 lead. 3:10 to play in this first quarter. Now the Bays, a little bit of a press. Mills at the free throw line over to Smith. Smith, wow, Johanson just jumped over him. Gavin Smith drives to the basket. I don't know how Kaleb Johanson avoided the contact, but he did. He just did a jump right over Gavin Smith. And I think that ball went out of bounds on Rudyard. So what a play there. It's kind of hard to describe what I just saw. Now here's Sam Hopper over to Carrick on the left wing. Up top to Gross. Lions. Lions on the right wing for the Bays. Over to Sam Hopper, far corner. Now near court, pass to Carrick. Carrick drives at the free throw line. Dishes it to Gross. Josh Gross. Open three. No good. Almost bounced in off the top of the backboard. Rebound by Johanson. That'll be a jump ball. And a nice hustle there by Kaleb Johanson. The ball will go to Rudyard, but the alternate possession next time will go to Brimley. Now Sean Hill checking in along with Jake Hopper. And we'll see our first look at those two gentlemen along with Hunter Lipponen. And it looks like Johanson, Shornack, and Lyons will sit down. And again, that's a luxury that the Brimley Bays have. A very, very deep and talented bench. It's kind of hard to say really who's on the bench because all these guys really could be starters. 8-2 Brimley, 2:25 to play here in this first quarter. Gavin Smith on the right wing for the Bulldogs. Bounce pass, right elbow, Mills. Now up top, wide open three. That's Staker. That one's short. So Rudyard just can't hit their mark right now as far as the outside shots. Hill at the rebound. Quickly to Gross. Gross underneath Mills. Tough matchup, but he puts it in. Josh Gross, a little bit of a size disadvantage, but he went right at Mills, and he scores, and it's 10-2 Bays. Now quickly, Rudyard has it. Mills open near side three. Misses everything, goes to Smith. Now Molaski open three. Good. So finally, the Bulldogs get one to go down. And that cuts the lead to 10-5. Josh Gross over to Jake Hopper, far corner. Now Jake Hopper, top of the free throw line, over to Hill. Hill being guarded by Molaski. Here's Josh Gross to Hopper. Near court, Lipponen over to Hill. Minute 30 to play in this first quarter. Josh Gross over to Jake Hopper. Now swinging it around the horn, near side. Josh Gross has it again, driving the baseline. I don't know how he didn't step on the end line, but he did. Gavin Smith makes a nice jump over the chairs on the bench. That's something I can't do. I've never tried it, actually, but in my current condition, probably not a good idea. Luckily for Gavin Smith, it worked out. Bays with the ball, $1:20 to play here in the quarter. Sean Hill up to Lipponen. Now Josh Gross on the left wing. Jake Hopper near side. Brimley pretty patient again on this possession. Gross open, far side, now near side Lipponen. He puts up the 8-footer. Good. Nice ball movement, and Hunter Lipponen becomes the sixth Bay to score, and it's 12-5 Brimley. 1 minute left here in the first quarter. Now Warner gets it to Molaski. Robert Molaski over to Staker. Jacob Staker. Again, Paul Staker's been on the bench most of this quarter. He got 2 early fouls. Now along the baseline, nice pass out. That's Smith open far side. He launches the three, and he hits it. So Gavin Smith's first 3 points, and it's a 4-point game. 40 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Lipponen over to Sean Hill. Back up top to Lipponen. Lipponen, Hill, left wing, shoots from three, no good. Rebound picked up by Staker. Jacob Staker across the midcourt line. Gross almost had some contact there. Now here's Molaski, fakes the shot. He drives, dishes to Warner. Warner kind of fumbled it, and he ends up traveling as he lost it there in the paint. 16 seconds to play in this first quarter. 12-8 Brimley. See if the Bays play for the last shot here. Hill with it. He'll just walk it up court. Now he'll pick up the pace. Across the midcourt line. 8 seconds. Lipponen on the left wing. Looking inside. Now gets it to Jake Hopper. 3 seconds. Bays got to shoot it. Inside. Hopper at the buzzer. Good. So nice job there by the Bays. You talk about playing for the last shot. They did. Sam Hopper puts it in, and after 1 quarter, it's 14-8 Brimley. We'll be back with the second quarter here on Eagle 95.1. Back to live action here in Brimley. Second quarter just began. The Bays with the ball leading 14-8. Now Brimley played solid here so far. Sean Hill on the right wing. He'll launch from three. That one almost down. Lipponen, nice rebound. And the Bays still have it. Hunter Lipponen up top to Josh Gross. Now Sam Hopper in the paint drives. That one partially blocked by Warner. Sam Hopper gets it back, and he'll drive and put it in. Nice job by Sam Hopper. He has 6 to lead all scores, and it's 16-8. Now the Bulldogs with it. Dylan Mills up to Molaski. Robert Molaski being guarded by Josh Gross. Over to Gavin Smith. Now left elbow. Mills. Molaski thought about the NBA three, but he backs it out. Now Molaski with it. Now he's going to shoot it from NBA range. Almost hit it. Hits the back iron. Rebound goes to Sam Hopper. Sam Hopper drives. Hopper lost the ball. And that one will go to Warner. Matt Warner passes it to Molaski. Robert Molaski across the midcourt line for the Bulldogs. Is now Brimley's going to have 5 players check in off the next whistle. On the right wing, Mills. He'll spot up from three. That one's no good. Rebound picked up there by Smith. Now Mulaski. He'll launch again from three. That one's no good. Rebound goes to Smith. So another offensive rebound. Mulaski with it. Now here's Mills in the paint. Puts up at the right hand. Misses everything. Mills almost did a nice job to keep that ball in play. And so wholesale changes for the Bays. Johanson, Shornack, Lyons, Zach Gross, and looks like Carrick will check in. So all the starters back for the Brimley Bays. 6:37 to play in the second quarter. Bays with the ball, leading by 8. Looking to stay in contention in the EUP conference. They have one conference loss. Cedarville on top with none. Now Lyons three, no good. Bays yet to make a three-pointer. Rebound goes to Gavin Smith. Now Gavin Smith across the midcourt line. Smith over to Mulaski. Now Paul Warner back in for the Bulldogs after those two quick fouls. Didn't see really any action. Now the Bays almost steal. Goes to Mulaski. Mulaski to Mills. Mills in the paint. Dishes it back out Mulaski. Now Mulaski drives. Swings it to Mills. Mills backs it out. Paul Warner open. Far side three. Yes, sir. Paul Staker, excuse me. I said Warner. Paul Staker with his first three. And it's 16-11. Now here's Lyons with it. Lyons over to Gross. Zach Gross swings it back to Lyons left wing. Now Lyons to Johanson at the free throw line. Puts up the shot. No good. Falls up his rebound. Now Zach Gross had it, got hit. Puts it up the shot and good. So Zach Gross gets on the scoreboard as with I believe a timeout. They blew a whistle. Not quite sure what the whistle is all about. They're getting a late substitution here. As looks like Jacob Staker checking in, replacing Matt Warner. So Bulldogs with the ball as they trail by 7, 18-11 Brimley. Robert Mulaski gets it to Jacob Staker. Now Mulaski gets it to Mills underneath. That one blocked. I think the Lions got a piece of that one. Mills looked like he was going to lay that one up. Rebound goes to Carrick. Carrick inside. Shornack puts it up. That one blocked by Owen Mills. So Mills has his shot blocked on the offensive end. He comes back and says, you know what, I'm going to do that to you guys. And he did. Lions with the ball. Bays lead by 7. Now Lions got to inbound. He does. Gets it to the midcourt line to Shornack. Shornack over to Lions. Now Carrick. Gross, left wing, three. Yes, sir. Zach Gross with 5 points in this quarter. And the Bays have their biggest lead of the night at 10. It's 21-11. 5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Mills quickly down court to Smith. Smith left of the lane. Gets it to Mills on the left elbow. Now over to Paul Staker. Mulaski up top. Almost lost the dribble. Now open. Three-pointer. That by Staker. No good. Rebound inside. Battled for. Finally picked up by the Bays. Here's Carrick with it. Carrick leads the break. Carrick with the ball. Carrick, nice move. Carrick with the shot off the glass. A little too strong there. He was still admiring that move. He just faked out the Rudyard player on that one. Bays will keep the ball. 4:37 to play in the second quarter. 21-11 Brimley. Now here's Lyons, the inbound, gets it to far corner. Carrick. Carrick drives the baseline. Nice bounce pass. Shornack missed the shot. Rebound goes to Johanson. Kaleb Johanson to Zach Gross. Now Lyons has it left elbow. Back to Gross. Carrick. Carrick inside. Johanson at the free throw line. Dishes it out. Puts up a three. Carrick. No good. Rebound. Battle for picked up by Mills. Mills gets it to Paul Staker. Now here's Staker. Nice move. Paul Staker missed the layup though. Rebound goes to Lyons. Staker did everything but score there. Now here's Lyons. Wide open up top three. That one's short. Rebound inside. Carrick gets it. Carrick drives the baseline, puts up the shot, no good. Another offensive rebound and one. And boy, the Brimley Bays are really pounding the boards here, especially on the offensive end. That'll be Johanson. That's his 4th point, and that's the first foul here in the second quarter. That foul will go on number 10, Jacob Staker, his first. And so Johanson will shoot one from the free throw line. Bays 4 of 6, make it 4 of 7 as he misses that one. But the Bays get the rebound, and that's Shornack. So Shornack has 4, and the Bays now lead by 14. 3:45 to play. Now another steal. This one by Lyons. Lyons drives, puts it up, good. Tristan Lyons with 3, and that's going to be a timeout by Rudyard. And this timeout brought to you by Mimic Insurance and the Doug LaPrade Agency. Reminding all school and healthcare employees that you can receive up to 35% discounts on your home and auto insurance when you're with Mimic. Contact the LaPrade Agency at 635-5981. to find out how. Brimley Bays basketball also sponsored by Baymart Sunoco and Gift Shop. Stop in before the game. They have 3 for $3 Powerades, along with 2 for $3.50 Monsters, fresh coffee, donuts, and competitive fuel prices. And I want to say hello to the staff at Superior Pizza and Subs. Of course, they sponsor our halftime show. I want to say hello to Georgia and the entire gang. And Georgia, if she doesn't have the feed or the broadcast, she lets me know. And so I want to say hello to Ken and TJ, also working at Superior Pizza and Subs. So off the timeout, Rudyard with the ball, trailing by 16. Across the midcourt line, Paul Staker now looking inside. Bad pass, deflected by the Bays. Now inside, Johanson drives, puts it up, no good. Another offensive rebound, no good. Another rebound. That one actually was tied up. The jump ball will keep the ball with Brimley. 3:22 to play in the second quarter. You're listening to Brimley Bays basketball on WUPN Eagle 95.1. My name is Scott Nason, our broadcast engineer tonight, Katie Woolen, back in the studios. Bays have led this one throughout, and they've really poured it on here in the second quarter. Now here's Zach Gross on the left wing being guarded by Mulaski. Gross over to Carrick. Gross near side Lyons. Lyons over to Carrick. Now Carrick bounce pass inside Johanson on Mills. Johanson puts it up good. So Kaleb Johanson with 6, and he's had a lot of rebounds. The Bays now lead by 18. 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. It was 14-8 after 1, and boy, the Bays have poured it on. Now here's Paul Staker. He launches a 3, no good. Rebound inside, picked up by Jacob Staker. Now Smith open on the far side. Passes up the shot, gets it to Mulaski between the circles. Over to Paul Staker. Gavin Smith far corner, back to Staker. Now on the right wing, Mulaski. Coach Bathy talked about the defense improving. Got to give it to them. They're playing well tonight. Now here's Jacob Staker. Up top to Mulaski. Over to Smith. Now along the baseline, Mills drives, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound picked up by Shornack. Now here comes Carrick. Dylan Carrick over to Lyons. He likes to shoot from there. Now here's Carrick over to Lyons. He will shoot from there. Missed the shot. Rebound picked up by Staker, and that's going to be a foul, I believe, on Johanson. That'll be just the 5th team foul here on Brimley in this half. And for Johanson, that'll be his 2nd foul. Now again, wholesale changes. Sean Hill, Josh Gross, Jake Hopper, Sam Hopper, and Hunter Lippinen, the 5 in for Brimley. Bulldogs with the ball, trailing by 18. 2:05 to play in the second quarter. Coming up, we'll have our Superior Pizza and Subs halftime show. We'll recap the stats, try to get some scores from around. Now Mills drives, puts it up at the underhanded scoop with the right hand good. Dylan Mills has 4. Brimley leads by 16. Hunter Lippinen with the ball over to Jake Hopper. Now Gross swings it to Hill on the right wing. That's Lippinen. Jake Hopper thought about the 3. Bad pass stolen and read by Smith. Now Smith drives, puts up the shot with the left hand. Good. So Gavin Smith has 5. Rudyard on a bit of a run. If they can cut it within 10 points, they got to be pretty happy. They trail now by 14. Man, not happy, but happier. Now Jake Hopper in the far corner over to Hill. Lippinen. Hill again. Hill on the left wing. He draws a double team. Now gets it to Gross. Now Gross drives. Right elbow. Passes over to Jake Hopper. No look pass to Sam Hopper. Intercepted by Mills. So Rudyard on a bit of a run here. Now Mills drives. Puts up with the right hand. Good. As Rudyard on a 6-0 run. And all of a sudden it's a 12-point game with a minute left. Sean Hill with the ball. Hill over to Lippinen on the left wing. This would be a mental victory for Rudyard if they get it within single digits here going into half. Now here's Hopper. Jake Hopper, far corner, passes up top. Hill. Hill inside. That one's stolen again, and I think Hopper was all over his back. As Sam Hopper draws the foul. That's his first. Both teams with 6 team fouls. 42 seconds left, so Rudyard on a 6-0 run will have a chance to cut it to within maybe 9. 40 seconds to play in the half. Here's Mulaski up top. Mulaski draws some contact. Now pass over to Smith. Back to Mulaski. Left wing 3. No good. Short. Rebound. Inside picked up by Hill. Sean Hill with the ball. Now Hill stops and pops. Off the glass. Good. Nice looking shot there by Sean Hill. As now 9 Bays have scored. And they extend the lead to 14. Now here's Staker inside. Puts up the shot, good. Paul Staker with 5 all in this quarter, and it's a 12-point game. Bays with the ball, 10 seconds to play. Lipinen on the left wing, he traveled. Yeah, he thought about passing before he thought about moving his feet. Well, he moved his feet too much, and so Rudyard with the ball, 6.8 seconds to play here in the quarter. Jacob Staker to inbound. That one stolen by Hopper. Sam Hopper almost kept that one alive, but it kills a couple seconds, so the Bulldogs will have to inbound underneath their own basket with 3.9 seconds to play here in the second quarter. 31-19 Brimley. So here we go. Full court press on by the Bays. That one broken there by Hopper. He puts up the shot from midcourt. No good. On the rebound, good though. How about that? Hunter Lipinen, smart play as Hopper launched that from midcourt range, but Lipinen was watching it the whole way. He followed it off the glass, puts it in and good, and so Brimley gets that little bit of momentum shift there at the end. They played a good first half, and they lead by the score of 33-19 over the Rudyard Bulldogs here in boys basketball. We'll take a break and be back with our Superior Pizza and Subs halftime show here on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason back at the Carl Parker Memorial Gymnasium in Brimley, Michigan for our Superior Pizza and Subs halftime show. Make sure you check out Superior Pizza and Subs. They're located on 6 Mile Road right near the Brimley State Park in Brimley, Michigan. They have the best pizza and subs in the area. Superior Pizza and Subs. A good first half for the Brimley Bays after not playing for 10 days. They lead the Rudyard Bulldogs in boys basketball by the score of 33-19. A very balanced scoring attack for the Bays, as they have 8 players that have scored, led by Sam Hopper and Kaleb Johanson with 6 each. 5 points from Zach Gross, 4 points Brendan Shornack and Hunter Lipinen, 3 points apiece Josh Gross and Tristan Lyons, and 2 points from Sean Hill. For the Rudyard Bulldogs, they were led by Dylan Mills. He has 6 points. Gavin Smith and Paul Staker with 5. Robert Molaski with 3. Foul trouble for the Brimley Bays. Not a whole lot. Shornack and Johansson both with 2. And for the Rudyard Bulldogs, Paul Staker with 2. Free throws in that first half. Well, the Rudyard Bulldogs are shooting 1,000%. But they haven't shot. I should say their percentage is 1,000, but they haven't shot. They're 0 for 0 from the free throw line, while the Brimley Bays are 4 of 7. We do have one score to report in girls basketball, thanks to our good friend Jim Lee Hockey, Eagle 95.1 own. Wow, boy, can we start this halftime show over? Jim Lee Hockey, one of our favorite meteorologists, actually our favorite meteorologist. He's a local one for once. That always helps on the radio, but he gives us this score that Sioux High is down to Negaunee 38-30 at the end of 3. And so we'll keep an eye on that score. We'll keep an eye on this score, obviously, because, well, the second half coming up here from Brimley, Michigan. Our score at half, Brimley with a 33-19 lead over the Rudyard Bulldogs. You are listening to Brimley Bays basketball on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason back in Brimley, Michigan. Our broadcast engineer tonight, the very talented Katie Woolen. And we're just about ready to start the second half of playing boys basketball as, well, Brimley's led throughout. They led by 6 points after the first quarter, and they currently lead by the score of 33-19 over the Rudyard Bulldogs in boys basketball. Busy week here on Eagle 95.1 of broadcasts. I'll be back out here on Thursday night as Brimley will take on the Pickford Panthers in a key UP conference matchup. The pregame show Thursday night around 7:15 with the tip-off around 7:30. And then we have Sioux High Blue Devil hockey back on the radio this Friday night and Saturday afternoon at the Lions Showcase at the Big Bear Arena. Tim Ellis will be there for both games. Friday night, the Blue Devils will take on Traverse City West. Tim will have the pregame show around 7:45 with the face-off around 8. And then Saturday, looking forward to this one as the Sioux High Blue Devils will take on Flint Powers. Tim will have the call of that one Saturday around 2:45 with the pregame show. He'll have the face-off around 3. Again, around because there's a game before both those contests. So, hey, the easiest solution, just keep it here on Eagle 95.1. You don't have to flip to anything else. We'll play classic hits at random. We'll keep you up to date on sports, and we'll provide some great play-by-play for these contests. Don't forget our sports show, The Game, back at the Wicked Sister on Ashman Street on Monday nights. We had a nice show last night You can find that show right now if you want to get caught up on the world of local sports. Maybe after this broadcast, you can find the link on our Eagle 95.1 Facebook page, or you can go directly to the podcast page of the game. You can find that at snason.podomatic.com. And coming up here later this month, we're going to have a brand new website devoted to the game and all our broadcasts, and that'll be at thegamesportshow.com. Stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bays are having a lot of fun tonight. They lead by the score of 33-19 with the ball going left to right on your radio dial. Brimley with the ball. Johanson has had tons of offensive rebounds tonight. Now Carrick gets over to Gross. He puts up the 12-footer. Good. Zach Gross with 7 now to lead all scorers. And the Bays lead by 16. Rudyard with the ball. Jacob Staker over to Molaski. That one partially tipped by Carrick. Molaski gets it back. That goes out of bounds off a Brimley player. Oh, Dylan Mills. I want to call him Owen Mills. That's his older brother. Dylan Mills leads the Bulldogs with scoring. He has 6, while now Zach Gross leads the Bays with points 7. Here's Molaski with the ball over to Dylan Mills. Now Mills over to Staker. He launches a 3. Quick release on that shot. No good. Rebound picked up by Lyons. Lyons double team, but he gets it out. Carrick has it. Dylan Carrick with the ball. Carrick on the right wing to Lyons. Gross wide open on the left wing. Couldn't find it. Now inside Shornack. Shornack on Staker. He puts up the shot. Good. Brendan Shornack with 6. The Bays have matched their biggest lead with 18. Now Warner. He falls down. Keeps the ball alive, though, as bodies go to the floor. Dylan Mills, and we're going to have a timeout. Nice timeout by Coach Mike Bittner. And this timeout brought to you by Mimic Insurance and the LaPrade Agency, reminding all school and healthcare employees that you can receive up to 35% discounts on your home and auto insurance when you're with Mimic. Contact the LaPrade Agency at 635-5981 to find out how. So timeout on the court as Brimley's really played pretty well throughout this game. They've led throughout. They came out to a 10-2 lead. We saw Rudyard make that run late in the second quarter. They cut it to 11, and it looked like they might go into halftime maybe with a single-digit deficit, but credit Brimley. They've played well throughout this game, and Rudyard's got a lot of work to do. As you look at this EUP conference, right now Cedarville on top. You have Engadine and Brimley with 1 loss, Pickford with 2. So the prognosticators, if you will, give it to one of those 4 teams. Cedarville, obviously the class right now of the EUP conference. You saw that game last week where they beat Sioux High. But Brimley and Engadine and Pickford. Pickford's not out of it as well. All have something to say. Now the Bulldogs with the ball off the timeout. Jacob Staker in the paint, dishes out to Warner. Now on the left wing, Molaski. Robert Molaski between the circles. Molaski over to Staker. That's going to be a foul on Lyons. Tristan Lyons with his first. Rudyard yet to shoot a free throw in this contest. The Bays 4 of 7, so that's a good percentage the way they've shot free throws this year. Rudyard would just like to shoot 1 at this point. Here's Dylan Mills with the ball. Dylan Mills looking for Staker inside. Now dishes out to Warner. Paul Warner. That one's stolen. I should say Matt Warner. Again, another older brother. Now Steele Johanson puts it up and in. These guys have too many siblings. I can't keep track of them. Johanson with 8, and the Bays lead by 20. Molaski over to Jacob Staker. Near side court, Molaski. Inside, nice pass, and that's a big block there by Lyons on the putback by Matt Warner. Now we'll have Gavin Smith replace Warner for the Bulldogs. Paul Staker to inbound. 6:09 to play in this third quarter. Bulldogs with the ball trailing by 20. Now Staker. Bounce pass to Mills, right side. Now drives the baseline. Mills, nice move. Turnaround pass. Thought he was going to shoot it. That one taken away by Gross. Zach Gross. Pass to Carrick. Carrick drives, puts it up and in. So Dylan Carrick's first 2. Bays really moving the ball well. They lead big now. Now a pass that goes out of bounds. Gavin Smith keeps it alive, but it goes to the Bulldogs, and that's Lions. Oh, I thought he was going to put that one in with the right hand. No good. That one passed all the way down court, or up court, if you will. And that one's going to be deflected out of bounds by Carrick. Will stay with the Bulldogs. 5:39 to play in the third quarter. Brimley leads big, 41-19. Jim Lee Hockey tells us a final in Nagani. Sioux High loses to the Miners by a score of 50-36. Missed three by Staker. Rebound to Lions. Now Carrick has it. Dylan Carrick right wing over to Gross. Zach Gross with the ball between the circles to Lions. Now on the right wing Carrick. Along the baseline Shornack. Back up top to Lions. Being guarded by Mulaski. Here's Carrick with it. Carrick, top of the circle. That one's stolen by Mills. Dylan Mills now with the drive. Dylan Mills, spin move, and he lost the ball right off of Mills' hands, although I think that one might have went off a Brimley player, as the Rudyard fans to my right might have went on the court if that one would have stood. 5:06 to play here in the third quarter. 41-19 Brimley. Warner, that one up top. Other side of the midcourt line, rather. That's Mulaski. Mulaski with it. Mulaski wearing that Rip Hamilton mask. Over to Staker. Staker inside. Jacob Staker. Staker to Staker. And that one goes in by Jacob Staker, his first two, and that cuts the deficit to 20. 41-21 Brimley. 4:35 to play here in the third quarter. Now here's Gross with it. Zach Gross over to Carrick. Carrick, near side Gross. Now Gross inside. Johanson wide open. Big mismatch there on Smith. And Johanson, first player in double digits. He has 10. It's 43-21 Brimley. Now Gavin Smith inside. All sorts of contact on Mills, but nothing called. Ball goes out of bounds. We'll stay with Rudyard. We have Josh Gross checking in, replacing Dylan Carrick, as Carrick gets a big applause. Now here's Staker. Staker bounce pass. That goes off of Smith. But I think that might have been Gross that got a hand on that one, so we'll stay with the Bulldogs. So here's Staker with it. Staker bounce pass inside Mulaski. Tough shot, no good. And so finally the Rudyard Bulldogs going to get a free throw opportunity, as that will be a foul on Josh Gross. So with 4:15 to play in the third quarter, Rudyard Bulldogs will attempt their first free throw of the night. So at the line to Robert Mulaski. He has 3 points on the night. First free throw up and good. So Bulldogs make their first free throw attempt. And Sam Hopper will check in, replacing Shornack for the Bays. And so Mulaski at the line. He'll shoot one more. And make one more. So Mulaski with 5. Bulldogs make their first 2 free throws, but they still trail big by 20. 4:10 to play the third quarter. Pass inside, wide open. Hopper with the left hand, good. Sam Hopper now with 8 points. And the lead extends to 22 halfway through this third quarter. Mulaski over to Jacob Staker. Now Mulaski has it near side. Mulaski double teamed. Inside now Mills. That's going to be tied up. We're going to have a foul. And I believe that foul might go against Lions. That's just the second foul here in the half. Third, rather. That does go on Lions. Rudyard yet to commit a foul. So Lions will sit down, replaced by Sean Hill. 3:52 to play in the third quarter. Bays lead by 22. Rudyard with the ball. Mulaski being guarded by Gross. Top of the circle. Now Mulaski with it. Robert Mulaski switches hands with the dribble. Gets it to Gavin Smith. Smith back to Mulaski. He likes to shoot from there. Thought about it. Swings it over to Warner. Staker, rather. Paul Staker in the paint. That one blocked. Kaleb Johanson. He's played a solid game for Brimley tonight. Gets it to Sean Hill. Hill on the right wing with 3:25 to play in the quarter. Johanson over to Zach Gross. Up top, Josh Gross. Zach Gross. Johanson. Gross, right wing, looking inside. Hopper. Hopper on Mills. Gets it out to Hill. He launches the three. Yes, sir! Sean Hill, like that shot. He has 5. That's a 25-point lead for the Bays. 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Now Staker over to Mulaski. Mulaski near side. Smith thought about the three. Dishes it out. Jacob Staker, he launches the three. No good. Rebound picked up by Zach Gross. Gross quickly to Josh Gross. Gross inside. Hopper gets in the near corner. Now inside. That was going to be a foul, I think, on Staker. And a good sportsmanship by him, helping Johanson up. And that'll be Staker's third foul. First foul here in the second half for Rudyard. Well, Jim Lee Hockey editing the highlights of this game from 4, 9, and 10 News later on tonight. And Jim, flattery gets you everywhere with me, including a free plug. He's listening tonight on our, did you say our mobile app or online, Jim? Let me know the details there. Now Johanson, nice move inside. No, but Kaleb Johanson will shoot a pair of free throws, as I believe that foul is going to go against Trent McDowell. That's McDowell's second. So at the line, Kaleb Johanson. He has 10 points on the night. Bays 4 of 7 from the free throw line. Johanson will shoot 2. First free throw up, good. Now Johanson with 11. He'll shoot one more. Bays now 5 of 8 from the charity stripe, and 5 of 9 as he misses the second. Rebound, though, put up and in by Hopper. Sam Hopper in double digits with 10. It's all Brimley. They lead 51-23. McDowell over to Mulaski. He launches a three. No good. Rebound picked up by Mills. He bats it out to Staker. Now Mulaski open again. He'll launch again. No good. Having a hard time with that shot tonight. Mills keeps the rebound alive. Picked up by Hill. Hill, big bounce pass. A little too short there for Hopper. Taken back by the Bulldogs. Mills double teamed along the baseline. Gets it to Smith. Now over to Jacob Staker. Staker to Mulaski. Under 2 to play here in the third quarter. Robert Mulaski between the circles. Over to Staker. Now inside. That's McDowell. Puts up the shot. No good, but he was fouled. And I think that's going to go against Hopper. That'll be Sam Hopper's second foul. Team foul number 4. And so Trent McDowell will shoot, I believe, a pair of free throws, but we have a timeout on the court with 1:45 to play here in the third quarter. Looking at the boys basketball schedule this week, lots of games on Thursday, including the one we'll cover, as Pickford will be at Brimley. We'll have the call of that one Thursday night. Other games, big one, 2 big games in the EUP conference, as Cedarville is at Engadine on Thursday. Sioux High is at Rudyard, and Newberry is at Detour, along with Sheboygan at St. Ignace. And then on Saturday, Sioux High will be at home taking on Ogama Heights. Girls basketball this week. A couple games tomorrow night. Cedarville at Newberry, Alanson at Detour. And then on Friday night, Brimley will be at Pickford. Now we have Sioux High hockey, so we won't have the broadcast of that game. And several other games as well coming up on Friday night. Jim, flattery gets you absolutely everywhere. Jim listening on our online feed at Radio Eagle Sioux. That's SOO.com. So if you happen to be out of town or out of range of our station, make sure you check out our online feed. First free throw up and in by McDowell, his first. Bulldogs now 3 of 3 from the charity stripe. McDowell will shoot one more, and he misses that one, so that's the first miss. Rebound by Jake Hopper. 51-24 Brimley, minute 40 left in this third quarter. Bays looking to improve to 3-1 in the UP Conference and 7-2 overall. They'll have a lot of conference games coming up here in the second half of the season. Sean Hill over to Josh Gross. Now Gross drives the baseline, puts up a tough shot and one. Boy, he just willed that shot in. And Josh Gross, boy, he is just a feisty, aggressive player out there. Love his game, and he'll get rewarded with 2 points and possibly another. That foul on Mulaski, his second. Team foul number 3, so Gross's free throw no good, so we have a whistle. Is that a lane violation on Rudyard? They might get a second chance at that one, so excuse the sniffles there if they happen to come over there. A little stuffy tonight. Second free throw attempt, no, so he misses them both, although it will only go down as one. However, the Bays get the rebound. Gross goes, and he's going to get 2 more opportunities as Josh Gross followed in the rebound. And that foul is going to go against Trent McDowell. That'll be his 3rd. So Josh Gross right back to the line. This time he'll get 2. He got 2 the last series. Now he misses that one, so he's missed 3 in a row. He'll want to hit this one. Now number 12, Max Trotter, checking in for Rudyard, his first action. So second free throw opportunity. Gross no good, so he misses 4 in a row. And the ball will go out of bounds off of Gross. So now the Bays 5 of 12 from the line. Bulldogs with the ball trailing 53-24. Minute 10 left in the third quarter. Mulaski at the midcourt line. Gets it to Jacob Staker. Back to Mulaski. Now Mulaski with the ball. Staker. Near corner Smith. Smith back to Staker. Jacob Staker gets to Mulaski. Under a minute to play here in the third. Mulaski. Smith. Nice pass inside Trotter. And he got a foul there. That's going to be before the shot. As Trotter was driving to the basket, finding an open McDowell. That'll be the 5th team foul on Brimley. That one will go against Jake Hopper, his first. Inbounds play. Mulaski with the shot, no good. He's just having a hard time shooting tonight. Rebound goes to Lipinen. Now here's Hill with it. Hill, right of the lane, dishes it out to Lipinen. Lipinen with the ball. Over to Josh Gross. Sean Hill on the right wing. Hill with the ball. Hopper over to Gross. Josh Gross with it. 30 seconds to play. Lipinen up top. Now here's Jake Hopper on the right wing. See if the Bays play for the last shot here. Still 25 seconds, but they lead big. Now driving to the basket. Gross, no, but he'll get 2 more free throws. As, Josh Gross aggressive here in this third quarter. That'll be the 5th team foul on Rudyard. And we'll go against Max Trotter, his first. So Gross, he's missed his last 4 free throw attempts. Only goes down the books as 3, but he'll get 2 shots here. First free throw up, good, so he needed that one. So Gross makes it there. A little bit of a Bronx cheer there going on the bench. Of course, you can laugh about missed free throws when you're up 30. However, in a close game, you're probably not laughing so much. So here's Gross. Second free throw up. And, that one was halfway down, but it rattles out. Rebound inside, picked up by Hopper, and he goes over the back of McDowell. And so that's going to be the 6th team foul on Brimley. 18 seconds to play here in the third quarter. So they didn't call a foul on that. It was just out of bounds. So Rudyard with the ball, trailing by 30. 10 seconds to play. Mulaski across the midcourt line. Mulaski inside. McDowell with some room. Puts up the shot. Good. Trent McDowell with 3 points. 5 seconds to play. Lipinen at the half court. Over to Hill. Hill with it. He's got to put up a long 3, and he does! Yes, sir! Sean Hill filling that shot. And Dad over in the far corner, he had a big smile on that one. He should. And that caps off a very good third quarter for the Brimley Bays. They lead 57-26. We'll be back for the fourth quarter here on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason back in Brimley, Michigan. Fourth quarter just about to begin. It's been all Bays. They lead 57-26 in boys basketball, led by Kaleb Johanson. He has 11. And Rudyard right now led by Dylan Mills with 6. Bulldogs with the ball. And it's just not been their night. Credit Brimley. They played well as diving for that ball out of bounds. And you got to like to see that as a coach. Although maybe you don't want to see too much of that. Up 31 points, but that's just good aggressive play there by Zach Gross. Although the dive might have been a little bit mistimed. Here's Mulaski with it. Mulaski with the ball. Over to Staker, and that's going to be a foul. So that'll send Rudyard to the line. It'll be a 1-and-1. As that's the 7th team foul on the Brimley Bays. That one will go against Lyons, his 3rd. And so that'll send number 10, Jacob Staker, to the line. He'll shoot 2. So Staker at the line. Bulldogs 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. Brimley 6 of 14. He makes the first free throw. So Staker now, Jacob Staker with 3. He'll shoot one more. Second free throw up, and that one's good. So Bulldogs doing a good job from the free throw line tonight. As Staker has 4, but they trail big 57-28. Bays with the ball. Tristan Lyons between the circles. Dylan Carrick. Now Josh Gross. Rather Zach Gross inside Carrick. Now Johanson. Johanson puts it up and in. Boy, he's had an easy time inside scoring tonight. He has 13. And quickly down court, Dylan Mills puts up the right hand good. So Dylan Mills, first points in the second half. He has 8. And the Bays probably don't want to run too much, but hey, when you're scoring, why not? And Lyons will go to the line, shooting 2 as he drove the baseline. And that foul will be the 6th on Rudyard here. I believe that went against Mills. Yes, indeed. That's his 2nd. So Tristan Lyons at the line. 3 points on the night. Make it 4. He hits his first free throw. So now the Bays 7 of 15 from the line. Like to get that percentage above the 50% mark if they can. And that won't help. Missing the 2nd free throw. Rebound picked up by Mulaski. Quickly down court to Smith. Being guarded by Carrick. Now here's Smith to Mulaski. Mulaski also almost had it stolen. Ball will be tied up, and we'll have a jump ball situation. And that'll give the ball to Brimley. 60-30 with 6:50 to play here in the fourth quarter. So the Bays will improve to 7-2, barring a collapse of epic proportions. And 3-1 in the EUP conference. Rudyard, they're going to fall to 3-6 and 2-4 in the conference. Pass inside Carrick. He shot it right off the pass, but Johanson again there on the offensive boards. He has 15 points. We could be seeing the running clock here in a few minutes. Now here's Mills with it. Mills up to Smith. Didn't think we'd have any real chance of seeing the running clock in this one, but credit Brimley, they're playing well. Now Mulaski finally hits that 3. His first 3-pointer since the first quarter. He has 8. As this Bulldogs team still fighting hard out there. Now Lyons pass inside to Carrick. That's a beautiful looking pass. And Carrick puts it in. He has 4. Extends the lead to 31. Now, player goes out of bounds there. Johanson right into a couple members of the bench. So the Bays still scrapping out there as well. As this has been one of their more solid games that I've seen them play this year. Both ends of the court. Now here's Smith. Got to be a 5-second call there. He was trapped, and credit the Brimley defense. They're causing turnovers and just playing a solid game tonight. And that's got to make Coach Matt Bathy very happy. Would make any coach happy. As now our first action of Dante Capelli. I want to say hello to Fiore if he's listening back at home. Now here's Lyons with the 3, no good. Rebound Mills, and I think it's going to be a foul on Shornack. So a good aggressive foul there. I think if you're Coach Matt Bathy, you're not too terribly upset about that. You don't want to foul up 31, but when you're going for a rebound like that, I think he'll excuse that. So 1-1 for the Bulldogs. As Dylan Mills at the line. That's first foul on, well, it says the first foul on Shornack. I haven't listed for 2. Might be an error. Free throw up by Mills, good. So Dylan Mills with 9. Bulldogs 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Now Mills' second free throw up. That one's good. So Mills makes them both. He's in double figures with 10. The Bulldogs trail by 29 now. Number 13 in, I think that's Tanner Norton. I didn't have him on the roster, but looks like him. I could be wrong. Now here's Gross. Over to Lyons, looking inside. Hopper wide open. Boy, they're having an easy time inside. Sam Hopper has 12. And it's all Brimley. They lead by 31. Mills, top of the key. He'll drive. Mills dishes it out. Paul Staker. Now Staker back to Mills. That's going to go off a Brimley player out of bounds. We'll stay with the Bulldogs. So we'll be back here Thursday night as the Bulldogs will take on the Pickford Panthers. It's really a game, the Bays will take on the Pickford Panthers. Really a game that Brimley is going to have to win if they want to win the conference. I don't see Cedarville losing too many games. Obviously, Brimley still has Cedarville here. That's going to be a fun one. Now here's Norton. Norton over to Mulaski. 5:10 to play in the fourth quarter. Here's Mulaski, drives. Mulaski, wild shot, no good. Rebounded by Mills. Now Mills loses it, picked up by Capelli. Dante Capelli gets it to Gross. Now here's Sam Hopper finding Johanson, wide open. That one blocked by Mills. Johanson, another offensive rebound. And boy, he is doing a number on the boards. We don't keep rebounding stats up here. Need to get a statistician one of these days, but Johanson would have a bunch. That foul will go on number 4, Mulaski, his third. So Johanson at the line, shooting 2. First free throw up, no good. So again, these free throws giving Brimley fits. 7 of 17 now from the line. So once again, below that 50% mark. Bays are going to have to find a way to get some of these in. Second free throw, that one's good. So Johanson now with 16. The Bays lead 67-35. 4:52 to play in the fourth quarter. Mulaski with it. Across the midcourt line. Mulaski between the circles. Now he'll drive. Mulaski stripped there by Capelli. Dante Capelli with it. Almost lost it there. He lost the dribble, but he gets it back. Gets it to Lipinen. Lipinen with the ball. Lipinen back to Capelli. Capelli over to Hopper. Hopper top of the circle, looking inside. Hill dishes it out. Lipinen wide open 3. Yes, sir. That one went around the world and then some. Lipinen with 7. It's all Bays. They lead by 35. 4:10 to play in the fourth quarter. We'll talk to Matt Bathy here at our postgame show. Hopefully get one of the players up as well. Be interested to see who he chooses to come up tonight. You can have about a dozen guys come up. Not all at the same time. We don't have that many microphones. Now, here's Staker with a 3. No good. Rebounded by Lipinen. Lipinen with the ball. Lipinen, top of the circle. Gets it to Hill. Hill's made a bunch of shots from outside tonight. Over to Lipinen. Lipinen to Capelli. Capelli with it. Gets it to Hopper. And what are we going to have here? Offensive foul, I believe. That's going to go on the Bays. And they call that one on Lipinen. So we have a timeout on the court with 3:40 to play here in the fourth quarter. Bays lead by the score of 70-35. This timeout brought to you by Mimic Insurance and the LaPrade Agency, reminding all school and healthcare employees that you can receive up to 35% discounts on your home and auto insurance when you're with Mimic. Contact the LaPrade Agency at 635-5981 to find out how. Brimley Bays basketball also brought to you by the Chippewa County Credit Union, where all families make one union, serving all of Chippewa County. Member NCUA, an equal housing lender. And brought to you by Bay Mills Community College, committing to providing affordable, culturally relevant, accessible, and high-quality educational opportunities to all. And you can apply online right now at bmcc.edu. Rudyard with the ball off the timeout, trailing by 35. Mills along the baseline, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound, Capelli had it. Now picked up by Jake Hopper. Jake Hopper leads the break to Sam Hopper. Sam Hopper now underneath the basket, driving, putting it up and in. Sam Hopper having a nice game. He has 14, and we're only a few points away from the running clock. Mulaski between the circles. Mulaski over to Staker. Jacob Staker passing it to Paul Staker. Now Staker was out of bounds. He thought he'd try to pull a fast one on the official, but to no avail. 3:03 to play in the fourth quarter. Brimley all over Rudyard by the score of 72-35. Another balanced scoring attack for Brimley. Now here's Dante Capelli. Gets it to Hill. Now Sean Hill with the ball. Just all sorts of scoring from all places here by the Brimley Bays. Now Capelli underneath puts it up and in. So Dante Capelli joins the scoring parade. His first 2. Now here's Staker with it. Staker to Mills. Mills drives, puts up the right-handed shot. Good. Dylan Mills with 12. Now here's Jake Hopper. Gets it to Sam Hopper underneath. Lipinen drives, puts it up and in. Bays making it look easy here tonight. Now here's Mulaski across the midcourt line. Mulaski with the ball. Passes it over far side. That's Jacob Staker. He launches the three, no good. So if the Bays can get a basket here, it'll be the running clock. I did not think we would see that tonight. Hills up top to Jake Hopper. Now Hopper looking, spotting, three. Yes, sir! So every player dressed tonight for the Brimley Bays has scored. Nate Reckla, the only one that's not dressed, he's in civilian attire, so we'll have the running clock from here on out. So we'll hear from Coach Matt Bathy after the game. Very happy coach. They should be. Bays have played probably their most solid game, and we'll get the shot in good there by Staker, Paul Staker. Now with 7 points as he was fouled. Oh, no, they did count that shot. I thought they gave him the continuation on that, but they don't. Now, they're not doing the running clock, which is kind of odd, but what do I know? Now Stager with that quick release puts up the free throw good, so you're looking for a positive for Rudyard. Free throws, 8 of 9 from the line. Now our first look at arguably one of the best hairdos in all of EUP Conference play, Cole Bestament. Checking in, he's a pretty solid pitcher as well for the baseball team. Now Staker, second free throw good. He has 7, and it's a 40-point lead for the Bays. Minute 35 to play here in the fourth quarter. Hill over to Jake Hopper. Now Hopper underneath, that one partially deflected, stolen by the Bulldogs. Here's McDowell with it. McDowell gets it to Staker. Jacob Staker with the ball. Staker over to Norton. Norton up top. That's Paul Staker. Now Paul Staker to McDowell. Right of the lane. Turnaround shot. No good. Rebound picked up by Lipinen. Hunter Lipinen with the ball. Over to Hopper. Quick pass to Sam Hopper. Jake Hopper to Sam Hopper. They know each other. They're related if you didn't know. Sam Hopper has 16. 81-39 Brimley. Wow. 50 seconds to play. They're putting on a clinic tonight. It was only a 6-point game after the first quarter, but it's just been all Bays as they're dominating this game. Now Jake Hopper, and he's going to travel there. Coach Matt Bathy looks at him. Come on, Coach. You're up by 42 points. Calm down. Give him heck. Now we got the running clock with 35 seconds to play, so the Bays will improve to 7-2 on the season, 3-1 in EUP conference play. As here's Paul Staker, puts up a shot, no good, as the clock will stop on that one with 28 seconds to play. So they'll have a matchup on Thursday against the Pickford Panthers, and that's going to be a fun one. First free throw up by Staker, good. So Paul Staker with 8. And Rudyard a perfect 7 of 7 for the free throw line. Make it 8 of 8 here in this quarter. And it's a 40-point lead. Under 30 seconds to play. Sean Hill with it. Hill across the midcourt line. See if the Bays just hang on to this ball. So it was really a solid outing from beginning to end. No rust involved with the Brimley Bays as they earn a 40-point win over the Rudyard Bulldogs in boys basketball. Our final score, 81-41 in favor of the Brimley Bays. We'll be back with our postgame show here on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason back in Brimley, Michigan for our postgame show as the Brimley Bays defeat the Rudyard Bulldogs in boys basketball by the score of 81-41. And we are joined by head coach Matt Bathy of the Brimley Bays. And well, coach, we talked about it in pregame show about potentially not playing in 10 days, a little rush. You need to improve a little bit on defense. You need to do this, to do that. Boy, it all worked tonight. You guys win by 40.
Yeah, you know, we started off a little slow. I figured we would. And then, boy, our defense kicked in.
Really did.
Yeah.
That was one of the better showings there. And, you know, it was defense, it was offense. And one of the things I noticed, Coach, was the offensive rebounding, especially by Johanson in that first half all game. You guys were really crashing the board, just looked very aggressive, but under control where you didn't get too wild and commit too many fouls.
Right. You know, Caleb's really, really coming on right now, and he's playing very well. Sam Hopper came in off the bench, and I don't know how many he had. But
16.
He just dominated, and I wanted to get him up here.
He's busy. He's talking to Mom. You got to let him talk to Mom. We're good.
But we looked really, really good once we got going, and and we just put the pressure on them. And, we didn't press full court too much, but our trap worked really, really well.
Well, you score 48 points in that second half, and it was one of those, we say it in hockey, play a full 60 minutes. And it really was a game that you played a full 32 minutes. You had a little bit of the running clock at the end, but, did you like the look of your team? Even went ahead, still kind of trying some different things, and I really thought that was, you went for the kill and you got it.
We did, I'm trying to get these guys to get the killer instinct, but, we talked this week building up to these two games is that we got to play all the time, no matter who's on the floor. And tonight we really the starters were on the bench.
Yeah.
They looked like cheerleaders. I mean, it was really fun. And a couple Dylan Carrick mentioned. He said see, this is how when we play like a team, we can't be beat like this. And it wasn't even close.
Yeah, it really was. And looking at the leading scorers, Coach, Kaleb Johanson and Sam Hopper, both with 16. Everybody that dressed tonight scored. Hunter Lipponen with 9, Sean Hill with 8, a couple threes there, making that long three. You have Zach Gross with 7. I thought he was very aggressive. Josh Gross going to the basket a lot. He had 6, along with Brendan Shornack with 6. It's hard to keep track of all these guys that scored. Dylan Carrick 4, Tristan Lyons 4. You have 3 from Jake Hopper and 2 from Dante Capelli. We say it often. I'm going to say it again. You have such a luxury as a coach to have this many guys that can come off the bench and really have 11 or 12 different guys lead you in scoring. That's going to go a long way, I think, towards your hopefully a long extended playoff run.
And there's another kid that's not dressed. And
Nate Rekla,
yeah. Nate Rekla. Well, I have 2 kids, Nate Rekla and Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus, of course, yeah.
But these kids, like Kaleb and Sam getting 16. Sam's off the bench. T-Bob's our leading scorer. He had 4.
Yeah.
Didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Didn't have to. No, it was a fun game tonight. I'm glad we got that win going into Pickford. Thursday it should be a tough game. But if we play like that, like I've been saying, if we play like that, there's not many teams that can touch us.
Well, Coach, we'll be here Thursday for that game. Best of luck in practice tomorrow, and we'll talk to you before the game on Thursday. Big UP conference game against Pickford.
Big one.
Congratulations tonight. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
Thank you.
Recapping the scoring for the Rudyard Bulldogs, they were led by Dylan Mills. He had 12. Robert Mulaski with 8, 5 points from Gavin Smith, 4 points Jacob Staker and Paul Staker, and 3 points from Trent McDowell. With the win, the Bays improved to 7-2 on the season, 3-1 in EUP conference play, and the Rudyard Bulldogs fall to 3-6, 2-4 in EUP conference play. So our next game will be on Thursday. As yours truly, along with my son, Vance, will be here as the Brimley Bays will take on the Pickford Panthers. In boys basketball, we'll have the pregame show around 7:15 with the tip-off at 7:30. That's going to do it here from Brimley. I want to thank our broadcast engineer tonight, Katie Woolen, back in the Eagle 95.1 studios, doing a great job as always. And once again, our final score, Brimley with an 81-41 win over the Rudyard Bulldogs. We'll get back to more classic hits at random right now on Eagle 95.1.